You walk into a room, perhaps a dinner party or a morning meeting at work. Before you have even taken off your coat, you know. You know that the two people standing by the window are in a silent, bitter argument. You know that your boss is distracted and slightly irritable. You can feel the tension hanging in the air like smoke, even though everyone is smiling and chatting politely. To anyone else, the room looks normal. To you, it is a map of hidden emotional landmines. This ability feels less like a choice and more like a reflex. Your eyes dart around, cataloging micro-expressions and shifts in tone. If someone sighs, your stomach drops. If a door slams, your heart races. You are constantly adjusting your own behavior, your volume, your posture, your words, to smooth out these invisible ripples. You are the thermostat of the room, working tirelessly to keep the emotional temperature safe. And by the time you leave, you are absolutely exhausted. Many people call this empathy. They praise you for being so sensitive, so intuitive, so good with people. And it is true, you are those things. But there is a shadow side to this gift that we rarely discuss. When this scanning becomes compulsive, when it is driven by fear rather than connection, it is not just empathy. It is hypervigilance. It is a nervous system that has been trained to believe that safety is something you must actively maintain, second by second. Let's explore this mechanism with compassion. This radar you have developed is not a flaw. It is a brilliant adaptation. At some point in your story, likely when you were much smaller, your environment taught you a very specific lesson. You learned that the moods of the people around you, perhaps parents, teachers, or peers, were volatile. You learned that your safety, or at least your peace of mind, depended on your ability to predict the weather. If you could tell that an adult was angry before they started shouting, you could make yourself small. If you could sense that a friend was sad before they started crying, you could fix it. You became an expert in reading the room because reading the room was how you survived. You learned that information is protection. If you know what everyone is feeling, you can't be caught off guard. But here's the challenge. That old environment is gone, yet your radar is still spinning. You are living in the present, but your nervous system is reacting to the past. You are scanning for threats in a room full of friends. You are interpreting a partner's quietness as impending abandonment. You are treating every shift in emotional tone as an emergency that requires your immediate intervention. This state of constant monitoring keeps your body in a low-level fight-or-flight mode. Your muscles are tight. Your breathing is shallow. You are so focused on the out there that you completely lose touch with the in here. You become a ghost in your own life, hovering around others, managing their experiences while abandoning your own. You might find that you don't even know how you feel until you are alone, because in company, there is simply no bandwidth left for you. We often tell ourselves that we do this because we care. We say, "I just want everyone to be happy." And that is partly true. But if we are honest, there is a deeper, more urgent motivation. We want everyone to be happy so that we can feel safe. We are regulating the room to regulate our own anxiety. We are fixing the external world in hopes that it will calm our internal one. This dynamic creates a profound sense of isolation. You are hyper-aware of everyone else's needs, but no one seems to notice yours. You might feel resentful that people are so oblivious, not realizing that their obliviousness is actually just a normal state of being. Most people walk into a room and just see a room. They are not scanning for danger. They are simply existing. And that freedom to just exist is exactly what you are craving. The shift from hypervigilance to healthy sensitivity begins with a single, powerful realization. You are safe now. The danger you are scanning for is a memory, not a reality. A friend's bad mood is not a prelude to disaster. It is just a bad mood. A silence in conversation is not a sign of rejection. It is just a pause. Other people's emotions are data, yes, but they are not threats. Reframing this takes practice. It involves moving from an external focus to an internal one. Instead of asking, "What are they feeling?" try asking, "What am I feeling right now?" Instead of asking, "Is everyone okay?" try asking, "Am I okay?" You are retraining your brain to understand that you have a center, a solid ground that exists independently of the emotional weather around you. One gentle way to practice this is to play with the idea of the observed pause. The next time you sense a shift in the room, a sigh, a frown, a change in tone, pause. Do not rush to fix it. Do not ask, "What's wrong?" immediately. Just observe it. Say to yourself, "I noticed that the energy has changed." And then, take a breath. Remind yourself that you are just a witness, not the manager. You can also use a simple question as a boundary tool. When you feel that familiar pull to intervene, to soothe, to entertain, ask yourself, "Is this my problem to solve? Is this person's irritation actually about me? Is their sadness something I caused?" Most of the time, the answer is no. Their emotions belong to them. By leaving their feelings with them, you are actually showing them respect. You are trusting them to handle their own internal world. It is also helpful to experiment with dropping the radar in low-stakes situations. Go to a coffee shop and decide just for 10 minutes that you will not look at anyone's face. You will not try to figure out if the barista is having a good day. You will not listen to the conversation at the next table. You will just drink your coffee. Notice how much energy returns to your body when you stop exporting it to everyone around you. There is a myth that if we stop scanning, we will become cold or uncaring. We fear that we will lose our empathy, but the opposite is true. Hypervigilance is anxiety masquerading as empathy. True empathy requires you to be grounded. You cannot truly hold space for someone else if you are terrified of what they are feeling. When you put down the shield of vigilance, you can pick up the tool of genuine connection. As you begin to trust that you are safe, the world becomes a much quieter place. You stop hearing the frequencies of everyone's hidden pain and start hearing your own thoughts again. You realize that you are allowed to walk into a room and just be. You are allowed to be the one who is distracted or tired or quiet. You are allowed to take up space without apologizing for the atmosphere. Imagine what it would feel like to enter a room and not have to work. Imagine sitting with a friend and letting a silence stretch out, knowing that the relationship is strong enough to hold it. Imagine knowing, deep in your bones, that you are responsible for your own happiness and everyone else is responsible for theirs. What if your sensitivity was never meant to be a survival tool? What if it was meant to be a source of joy, a way to experience beauty and connection rather than a constant search for safety? What if you are finally free to retire from the job of managing the world?